Welcome to our little tutorial, and first off, we're just going to do some of the basics. One of the things that I did with this was I split your harm into harm, just regular harm, and then unstable, so once it gets to 4 and above. So what you'll do is when you click on your token, you can change the green, which is the regular harm, and then the red. So go ahead and just play with those numbers. And in this system, we count up. So instead of hit points counting down, we go the opposite direction.
Oops. Oh, I see.
And Solomon, is it working for you or?
Sorry, I was just finishing up a sheet. Let me test
Oh,
it out.
okay.
Mark up.
Oh, that's right. You're already familiar with Roll20, so okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So for Chloe and Edward, another thing, I'm going to delete your tokens. And if you take a look over to the right, there's a journal page. And if you click on the journal page, you should see your tokens. And just click on the token, like the picture itself, and drag it to the board. Okay, that's odd that that happened with Edward.
That's huge.
Yeah, I'm going to drag you over, see what it does for me.
It's a lot of Edward.
That's odd. Let me try with Chloe. Okay. Something's going on here. Right, there we go. Okay. Oh, sorry. Don't click on the picture. Click on the name and drag it and drop it.
Okay. I kept clicking on the picture and it wouldn't move.
Yeah, all right. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I'm having to remember some things. All right, so now that you have your token here, so what's going to happen is that when I move from slide to slide in Roll20, a lot of times, well, what I like to do is actually tell the players, when you're ready to have your character on the board, just put them on the board, because I've linked your tokens to your sheet so that anytime you make updates to your harm, it'll still carry over no matter what. So actually, let's test that. Edit your harm, and once you do that, I'm going to delete your tokens, and then we'll try to bring them back just to make sure it's working. All right, so bring your tokens back and let's see. Perfect. All right, it's working. Great. All right, you can zero it out. The next thing I want to show you guys is the macro function. So if you go over to your characters, you're going to just click on the name and it will bring up a whole bunch of options. And let me know when you're ready for the next step.
I'm ready.
All right, so click on attributes and abilities, and then you'll see abilities to the right. And I'll just show you guys a quick example. So for me, I've created a macro for Joshua. So I'm going to click, and just one click, boom, it does it. So I put in a command for what he's doing. So he takes aim with his crossbow, then lets the bolt fly, and then it rolls for me. So the way to do that, I guess I've kind of jumped ahead. So before we do the macro, you can see the dice roller commands there. And so it's the /roll 2d6 plus modifier. So if you guys just want to type those in real quick.
So where it says Mine says current, like skin name, skin check.
Oh, no. So when you're looking at Roll20,
Mhm.
if you're not using a macro, if you're just doing it from the command line, go to the chat bubble icon, and then that'll bring up the chat for Roll20.
Ah, gotcha.
And so when you're there, then you can type in the commands as listed in the little commands under the title.
I gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be 2d6, and make sure that you type out the slash roll.
Sorry.
Yeah. And then the modifier according to whichever roll you're doing.
Gotcha.
Okay, great. So now we'll go to macros. So now go back to the journal function and click on your names. And then you go to attributes and abilities, and then do add. And so when you do add, then you can hit the little pencil for edit. You can name it. And let's see, I'm going to do Silver Dagger. So the first thing that you want to do is, I mean, this is optional. You can put in some sort of flavor text or whatnot. The way to actually have your character emote is /me space and then whatever you want to actually show up on the screen. So then that's the first line, so that's just the flavor line. And then after that line, you're going to put in, just like you were rolling on the chat tab, you're going to do the /roll 2d6 plus modifier. And so once you have that, you hit the check mark to save it. And then what I choose to do is I put it show as token action. So what that means is that whenever you want to use an ability, you just click your token and it'll pop up in the upper left-hand corner. So once you've created a macro, test it out.
Did you show them how to roll for basic stats off the sheet?
So I was going to keep it on like the non-character sheet rolls, just so that they know the functionality of Roll20.
Oh. But we are still using them in the game, right?
Yeah, so here's the thing. It's actually, I make it optional for people if they want to do that or not. Some people don't want to use the Roll20 sheet, so they can just use token actions. But if someone's comfortable using the sheets and doing it that way, that's fine. It's just that not everyone wants to update or manage two sheets.
Mm-hmm.
So the Roll20 sheet's optional. All I ask is that I definitely have the sheet in the shared drive because I need to be able to see those sheets. But the Roll20 sheets, it's up to the individual player.
Gotcha.
But yeah, when I played Genesis, every single thing was off of the character sheet.
Can you say you said it was /me what?
Oh yeah, so you just do /me, and that's literally going to say Chloe the Professional does whatever you type.
Okay.
Yeah. No, just like Azra said, well, actually, we'll get to that once you guys do your macros.
Once I finish my sheet, I'll take care of my macros.
Oh yeah, don't worry about this since you're already familiar with
Yeah.
Roll20. It's fine.
Cool beans. And when we have a moment later, I will have a few questions for you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay, I might need you to start from the beginning on that one. So under the abilities,
Uh-huh.
add, and then you said edit it, click the little pencil.
So I see the one that you've named practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to create another one, and then you can take a look at
Okay.
that one.
Okay.
So I'll call this one. What's one of your weapons that you use as Chloe?
Sniper rifle.
Woo! Oh, goodness gracious!
Haha.
All right, sniper rifle.
Chloe's
So
coming in hot.
all right, so then we'll do. And what's the modifier on that?
4 harm.
Oh, not the damage, but the actual ability modifier on it.
I think it's tough to attack.
To hit, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it'd be tough. And mine is tough as +1.
+1. Okay. So do that, and then actually, thank you for giving the harm number because that is something that I should have added to my macro. So good reminder.
My pleasure.
So let's see. How do I want to put this in? And I'll put in the qualities. So 4 harm 4. Okay. All right, so I rolled it off of you since I was using the token action, but now if you go to your token, you should be able to do it as well.
Ah, okay.
There we go. Okay. So you can fiddle around with that and, change the wording as you like, but this way for anything that you want to kind of add some flair to, you can. The other way is just like Azra had mentioned, if you actually go to your character sheet, so you click on your name, you go to character sheet. If you filled out your character sheet, you can just roll the dice that's like right next to the ability that you need to use. So you can do it that way as well.
Oh, okay.
But like I said, that's completely optional. A lot of people just like to have their PDF open that they did earlier instead of maintaining 2 sheets. So I'm fine with either. As long as the numbers are there, that's fine. What I care most about is the role play. So mistakes will happen. Don't get flustered by them. Like we all make mistakes. I mean, I've been GMing forever, and I remember in my Star Wars campaign, I've been GMing that thing for 2 years, and then someone had to correct a mistake of mine. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I couldn't believe it. It's like, how did this not get caught? And everyone was like, well, we just assumed that you knew. And I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, so everyone makes mistakes. All right. Edward, how are you coming along with your macro?
Well, I'm going to the journal,
Okay.
and then I go to my name, right?
Uh-huh.
Click on that, and then I go to attributes and abilities, and then I put brass knuckles in.
Okay. Oh,
And then-
I don't see anything there. Oh, I see what you're doing. You're putting in attributes. You want to go to abilities and then add.
No, not erase this.
So actually, while you're doing one, I'm going to create one too. So while you do brass knuckles, what's another ability that you've got or attack mode?
Oh, I missed that one up.
Let's see. I've got 9mm.
Okay. And I think that's a 2 harm.
Yes.
All right. So I'll do that one. You do brass knuckles.
Oops. So then under new ability, I put brass knuckles. Two brass knuckles.
And what's the modifier on that? What's your tough?
+2.
+2. Ooh, you're a tough one. Okay.
Brass knuckles.
Seems I can't do macros.
Oh, what's up?
I can't do macros. I haven't been using them on Roll20. It doesn't matter.
Oh, it's not letting you do it?
No, I think I'm just doing it wrong.
Okay. Is this Azra or Edward? I'm still getting used to names.
This is Azra.
Okay. Let's see here. If you
There we go.
good one. Give me 1 second, Azra. I'm gonna finish with Edward here real quick. So,
No worries.
Edward, when I still don't see the brass knuckles in there.
What am I doing wrong? Okay, well, I've got it under abilities. I have brass knuckles, and then in the big blue box, I'm typing in. That's where I put the roll 2d6. Correct?
Yeah, and just make sure
And then-
to actually hit the check mark to save it.
Yes, correct. And then, I'm sorry, real quick. Then 2d6, since the brass knuckles do 1, and then +2, is that +3 in total? Or is it just +2 and for tough?
You know, that's actually a good question. I think that when they, I'm not sure about that, so I'm gonna
I'll
have to
just
look
put.
that up.
Okay, I'll just put +2 for now then.
There we go. Wait, oh, that's not working.
Okay, so it should be there.
And it's not working.
Okay, yes, I do see the brass knuckles. So it's up to you. You can either do show in macro bar or show as token action, but so your preference. I put it as token action, and then you just click on your token, and boom, there it is.
Cool.
All right, so yeah, activate it. Let's see it.
Okay. Why am I clicking on the token and nothing happening?
So click on the token, and then look over to the upper left-hand corner, and then you can hit one of the abilities.
Yep. Ladder.
Okay, that works.
All right, hit the 9mm.
Okay.
All right, so you see that flavor text I added? So you can use that as a template. Obviously, you can change the wording and whatnot, but it's one way to kind of add some personal flair to your roles.
Okay.
All right, Azra, let's see what's going on with your sheet here. So I see quick draw, and but it's not rolling for you.
I clicked the roll icon. It just added the text and the Roll20 log.
Oh, the roller's slightly different. The dice roller command is over if you look at under the title. So you just need to change the syntax just a little bit.
All right.
Sia wants to know if it's too late for her to hop in.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna go in and let's see. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna edit that real quick. So that's what it should look like.
Give me 1 second. Oh, alright. I thought I needed to add the hashtag because it said under the window.
Nope. Yep, there we go.
And how do I add the flavor text?
So with the flavor text, do /me space flavor text.
Yeah. Do I just add that above or under the roller command?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I usually do it above because, you might miss. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to grab Thea's token here. So, any questions while I'm fixing up Thea's token?
Hey.
Not
Maybe
at the
not.
moment.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be.
Yeah.
All right, Thea, I'm just getting your character squared away here.
Hello.
Hey there.
Hi.
Hey.
Who just joined?
Shadow Hunter.
Hi there.
Hello.
So, Shadow, are you familiar with Roll20?
A little bit.
Okay.
I've only had a couple of games in Roll20.
Okay, good. Then you should be fine. I've gotten pretty far, so I'm not going to be able to go over everything that I just did. But you're free to listen in.
Am I allowed to watch the game?
Yeah, absolutely. You can
Okay.
come on into the link. We're not doing like an actual game. This is just the tutorial, just with the practice combat that we'll do in just a second here.
No, that's all good.
All right, almost done with Thea here.
Let's see how this one works.
Oh, so another thing that we can also use is that let's say that something occurs and you fall into a net, and so you want to actually display that somehow in your token. So let's say that Chloe, you're stuck in a net. If you click your token, other than the gear symbol, there should also be a little button symbol. If you press that, you'll see a whole bunch of symbols, and one of them includes a net. And so you can just click that, and that'll pop up on your token.
That's cool.
Yeah. Another thing is that I may say you've been hit with this massive curse, and you've got -1 ongoing. So what I'll do is I'll put a little something on your token like that. So that's going to mean that you are under a negative effect, and it's -1 for all of your rolls until it's lifted. So little things like that, little visual cues.
Okay.
And then you're free to kind of, if your character falls or if your character gets electrocuted or something like that, you can play around with the various tokens. Ooh, grenade, yeah, professional. All right. Fumble the grenade, hot potato.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Okay, so let's take a quick, just like 2-minute break, and then we'll get started with just the practice combat tutorial. Or not tutorial, but scenario.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, see you guys in a second.